How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Good evening, everyone. I am Brett Rump, along with Ryan Dellinger, sitting in the East Press Box here at Spooler Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School, getting set for SAC football. And, of course, the Snider faithful have decided to make this a blackout week, and they have special black T-shirts that are also nice in welcoming the Carroll Chargers to the SAC. But I think what they mean is, if you take it in context, is they'd like to give them quite a rude welcome into the SAC tonight. And of course, for the Carroll Chargers, their first year in the Summit Athletic Conference, they did face Northside and lost that game a couple of weeks ago, 36-32. Now they take on a Snider team that presents a lot of the similar challenges with a lot of speed, a lot of skill position players. And as Northside was charging down the field at the end of the game, led by their quarterback, Arian Nieves, Snider's offense, too, is kind of geared around their quarterback, Isaac Stiebling.
Absolutely. Isaac's had a very good season thus far. He actually had his first turnover in 4 games in the last game against Concordia on just an errant throw. He's been on time with his targets. He's got 3 big receivers that he can throw to, and Turner, Bramley, and Hippenhammer. And, they're starting to get their run game going. Their offensive line has really gelled. Brett, tonight this could just be an absolute shootout.
Well, we expect with great skill players on both sides, and especially 2 very good quarterbacks. Isaac Stiebling, as we mentioned, for the Snider Panthers, completing 72% of his passes on the year. He's just shy of 900 yards through the first 4 games. He's thrown 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He also has run it just a yard shy of 100 yards on the season, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. He is an Eastern Michigan recruit. When you look at the other side for the Carroll Chargers, you've also got a MAC recruit, a Northwestern recruit in Aiden Smith. And, Smith's a big quarterback. He's very athletic as well, much like Isaac Stiebling. And he runs that option-style offense, but he also has a tremendous arm. We saw it last week against the Homestead Spartans. He threw a couple of balls deep down the field on target. Coach Dinan has a lot of confidence in him. But the one thing, he's also got his favorite target, and that was pretty clear last week, that Hayden Newlant is his favorite target.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's been able to hit him all over the field. Aiden's got great vision. I mean, he anticipates very well where the receivers are going to be. He knows the routes very precisely. He and Isaac are kind of clones of each other, if you really want to go out on a limb and say that, because they're both so similar in what they've learned. But the quarterback for Carroll,
Aiden
Smith. I mean, he can run. We saw that last week. I saw it in the highlights. He's a very good, solid player. But for Snider tonight, though, they do get back one of their defensive backs, and Demarius Ridley.
That could be important on the year for Aiden Smith. He's completed 65% of his passes, just shy of 800 yards, but he's carried it 35 times for 198 yards, averaging 5.6 yards per carry. Taking a look at the starters, first for the visitors, the Carroll Chargers, Aiden Smith, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, will be at quarterback. In the backfield, the tailback, Nick Novotny, is a junior at 5'9", 160. He's averaging 8.9 yards per carry and has scored 3 times on 41 carries this year. The receiving core includes Jordan Schmeling, who's a junior at 5'10", 165. He's caught 10 balls this season. Cody Dinan, who is the coach's son, has caught 6 balls for 134 yards and a touchdown. He is a 6'2", 175-pound senior. And also Justin Becker, a sophomore, 5'9", 140-pound sophomore. And then Hayden Newlant, the favorite target, 17 receptions on the year, 6'2", 165, a senior. We'll tell you Snider's lineup when we return. It is the pregame, getting a set for Carroll and Snider here at Spooler Stadium. It's the high school football game of the week on ESPN Radio 1380.
We build a whole lot more home for a lot less money. Westport Homes.
Whether you're
you're looking to build your first home, move into a bigger, nicer home, or downsize to a smaller home, Westport Homes has a perfect plan for you. 11 desirable communities to choose from in and around the Fort Wayne area. Affordability, reliability, and quality at the location where you want to live. You get it all. Experience the Westport Homes difference. Westport Homes. A lot more home for a lot less money. This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
America's veterans have served our country in both war and peace.
It's because of people like you that we are free.
My class was learning about war and how hard it is.
I wanted to do something to let them know how I feel.
Now there is a way to thank them for helping keep America free. Log on to thankyouveterans.org and type a personal message of thanks.
Dear Dad, I've recently come to understand how important your service to America was, and I just wanted to say thank you.
There are 26 million veterans living in America today, from World War II to Afghanistan and Iraq.
We carry our experiences inside. It's nice to have someone say thanks.
Let a veteran know you appreciate their service. Log on to thankyouveterans.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
With our studio engineer, Bryce Vance, I am Brett Rump along with Ryan Dellinger at Spooler Stadium ahead of SAC football, the Carroll Chargers and the Snider Panthers. Taking a look now at some of the special players we will see tonight for the Snider Panthers. Quarterback Isaac Stiebling will be going to Eastern Michigan, a senior at 6'4", 190. We have seen his game develop over the last couple of years, seeing Snider so many times. He has completed 55 of 76 for 72%. As we mentioned, just short of 900 yards on the year with 12 touchdown passes and only one interception. And of course, tonight's starters are presented by the Snider Athletic Booster Club. Snider Athletic Booster Club raises money through fundraising and concessions to support the development of the student athlete in all sports at Snider High School. In the backfield for the Panthers, Money Woods is a 5'8", 170-pound junior that's carried 34 times, 184 yards, while Dominic Scott has carried 35 times for 255 yards. Scott, a senior at 5'10", 210. He would be considered the big back, but he showed some great breakaway speed a week ago in the win over Concordia. 7.3 yards per carry for Dominic Scott, while Woods averages 5.4 yards per rush. The wideouts, David Turner's in a slot. He's 5'9", 175, a senior with 21 catches. He leads the Panthers. Mac Hippenhammer will be lined up at a wideout, 6 foot, 195. He is a junior, 17 receptions, 253 yards, one of those for a touchdown. He also is dangerous carrying the ball, 12 rushes for 79 yards, 6.6 yards the average, but he can also throw it out of the Wildcat. He could be almost anywhere in the backfield for Snider tonight. Malik Bramley is a 6'3", 180-pound senior with 14 catches and 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Bryson Haft will be at the tight end position. He's only caught one ball for 5 yards, but he made the most of it. It was for a touchdown. He is a 6'2", 175-pound junior. The band is on the field, and we are just short of getting this one underway here at Spooler Stadium. Carroll comes in 3-1 on the year, while the Snider Panthers enter the game with a perfect 4-0 record. Snider has made it up to number 2 in the 5A poll this week, while Carroll introduced into the 6A poll at number 14. Doug Dinan in his 6th year at Carroll, obviously a longtime assistant at Snider. He is 46-18 at Carroll, but they've also won 20 of their last 21 games they've played against any team not named Carmel. For the Snider Panthers, they're coached by Kurt Tippmann, 65-18 in his 7th year. as the coach of the Snider Panthers. Last time, Carroll, we had them right here on the radio, defeating Homestead 31-24, while Snider beat Concordia in a game where Concordia was just pesky. They just battled all night long, but as Snider does, they wear you down and pull away late, 55-24. The last time these two teams met, there is a history. Snider leads the series 2-0, but it has been 11 years since they've met, and that was a 51-0 Snider win. And again, Snider's won the two games where they have met. Snider's offense has just been on fire, 55-plus in 3 straight games. And the one game they didn't score 55 or more was the opening game, but they had 42 at halftime. So they were well on their way, but they called off the Dogs in the second half in a one-sided win against Wayne. Carroll has allowed more than 24 points just once this year, but they've allowed more than 24 points only 4 times in their last 21 games. Coach Dinan likes that defense, and it'll be interesting to see what Carroll can do defensively to try to slow down this high-powered Snider offense. Snider defensively has not been perfect. They've allowed 21 or more in 7 of their last 8 games going back to last year, but because their offense is so good, they've won 5 of those 7. And Snider's average offensively at 54.8 points per game right now, 5th in the state among all IHSAA football programs. So if you watch the keys to the game, I think you have to start with the Snider offense against the Carroll defense, and that means to keep an eye on Dylan Connor, Blake Schumacher, and James Jamesich, who I thought all 3 had outstanding games a week ago against Homestead.
Yeah, absolutely. And these two teams and the players are so familiar with each other because they play against each other in summer ball, in 7-on-7 football. So they're very familiar with each other. I know that Dylan Connor and James Jamesich and Brandon Kimes and Jack Givens, who's an outstanding defensive back, they're very familiar with each other. The thing is with Snider, it's very hard to make them one-dimensional because their offensive line has gelled so well over the last couple of weeks. We're starting to see some very long runs from their running back because you try to take away their throwing game. It opens up big lanes for the running backs. But they haven't seen a defense that's played a full 4 quarters on them yet, Brett. And I'm very sure that Carroll will do that tonight.
Well, of course, as both coaches being so familiar with the Russ Isaac system, they were assistants for many, many years together, and they both have implemented a lot of those same philosophies and principles into what they do at their respective schools. So Doug Dinan is not going to be surprised, so to speak, about anything that Kurt Tippmann throws at him. But vice versa, Doug Dinan's team, what they do best is basically run a system very similar to what the Snider Panthers do. I am sure both coaches would like to throw a wrinkle that the other doesn't expect. We'll see where that may happen. But again, this could have a huge implication on the SAC standings because Snider already has the win over Bishop Luers. Tonight they take on Carroll. You've got Dwenger with 1 loss that sits on the schedule in a couple of weeks. But Snider does not want to fall down into that tie with Dwenger and then have the chance to lose the SAC outright. And for the Carroll Chargers, they know that if you fall 2 games behind Snider, things are pretty well done at that point.
Absolutely. And, it wouldn't be weird if we had a team win the conference with 2 losses this year because of the balance of the conference. But obviously, you don't want to lose your own home game. You don't want to lose another game if you're Carroll because even that North Side has still got a shot. Luers still has a shot. So many good teams are here in the SAC this year.
Well, an interesting side note and a side fact that Snider has gone over 40 games without a loss in years that end in 5. Their last time that they lost in a year that ends in 5 was back in 1975. Captains are on the field. We'll have the coin toss, which means our opening kick is coming up here in just moments. We will take a break. When we return, it's the Carroll Chargers and the Snider Panthers. Friday night high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
As a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, joining IAVA.org really helps in the transition home. It's a network of OIF and OEF vets like me who've got your back here, just like we did over there. That means when you need help navigating the GI Bill, we've got your back. And when you're dealing with the transition home, we've got your back. Or when you just want someone to share stories with, we've got your back. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Brought to you by IAVA and the Ad Council.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
The rain has stayed away. It's cloudy skies here on the north side of Fort Wayne as the Snider Panthers host the Carroll Chargers. 4-0 Snider, 3-1 Carroll. I am Brett Rump along with Ryan Dellinger and our studio engineer Bryce Vance here with the Partners First Federal Credit Union high school football game of the week. The Carroll Chargers did win the toss, but they deferred, so Snider will receive the opening kickoff, and they will go from the south end heading to the north while Carroll gets to kick it going north to south, which is right to left as we look at the field here at Spooler. And the opening kick by Jack Shannon is very short and very wide out of bounds. That'll be a penalty flag. It'll set the ball up on the 35 where the Snider Panthers offense will take the field.
Yeah, not a lot of teams are challenging their kickoff right now, especially after Hippenhammer's game against Northrop 2 weeks ago.
They may make them re-kick this too.
Yeah, they may. It looks like they're going to.
Yeah, I think Kurt Tippmann came out and he waved to the special teams return unit to stay on the field. So they'll march off 5 yards and it'll be a re-kick. Kurt Tippmann wants to do everything he can and in his power to try to get a return because they are so potent in the return game. Back deep to return it, you've got Mac Hippenhammer, David Turner, Dominic Scott, and Money Woods. And Malik Bramley's an up man. I mean, they've got the entire starting skill set other than the quarterback out there to return this kick. So Shannon will try it again from his 35. Here is the kick. This one again way over to the sideline, and he's going to knock it out of bounds again. And eventually we might get this game started.
Moving them back
yeah,
again.
they are. They're holding up the sign saying, make him keep kicking it. We're going to force him to kick this ball in bounds.
And now the coach is running down there from Carroll saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, kick it short, kick it to that side. And what's interesting, Ryan, when you look at how they've got the setup, the starting skill players for Snider, David Turner, Mac Hippenhammer, Malik Bramley, Dominic Scott, and Money Woods. Okay, they are 5 of the 6 players that are back deep. There's one player that's not on the starting offense that is back deep, and that is Michael Brewer. And the person they are targeting, aggressively trying to target to get to return this kick is that guy. But, you know, now Brewer's standing out at the 41. They kick it to him now. He's already got great position.
And he runs a 4.40.
Look at everybody cheat to that side, and that's where it's going to go. And it's in the hands of Hippenhammer at the 15, the 20, 25, taking it down the left sideline. Looks for a block at the 40, and he'll go down out near the 42 or 43-yard line. So finally, after 3 tries, Snider does get a return with Hippenhammer, and he returns it about 22 yards to the 42, where the Snider Panthers offense will take the field, led by Isaac Stiebling, the senior, 6'4", 190 pounds. Great completion percentage so far this year, over 70%, 886 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 1 pick. He's been excellent at decision making, especially at the high school level. They'll start from the left hash. In the backfield, Dominic Scott will get the start at tailback. They'll put 2 receivers in the slot to the wide side right. Turner along with Bramley, and then the handoff goes to Scott, pounds behind the left side of the line out near the 45, picks up about 3 yards on the first down carry. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
That's interesting. Snider really hasn't ran the ball much to start their games lately, and right away they come out and run behind their left tackles, Endon Dellinger there for 3 good yards.
And they've got no wideout on the left side. All 3 receivers lined up right, and they ran it left. Here's play action. Stiebling sets up. He's going to go deep. Looking for Turner, and he overthrows him at the 30-yard line. Man-to-man coverage from Jack Givens. The throw just a little too long, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 7 for Snider.
little more air under that. We don't have much wind. It looked like the wind stopped just as kickoff started here. But that was they had that play right there. Snider did. They had the wide receiver behind Gibbons.
Third down play here in the first drive. Snider trying to avoid a 3 and out. They started with great field position at their own 42. They're on the 45. Stiebling set up shotgun, single back. Dominic Scott slot to the short side. Over on the left is Turner. Wide right Bramley, wide left Mac Hippenhammer. Stiebling on a fake count, now looks over, gets the play, and did he get the play off in time, or was there movement up front? I think there's movement.
No, I guess there was. Delay of game.
Delay of game. I glanced over at the clock, didn't see how much time was on the play clock, but it seemed like it was taking a long time for him to get that snap, and so 5 yards moves Snider back to their own 40. Third down and 12. They've got to get to the Carroll 48 for a first down. They'll put Turner slot right, wide right Bramley. Hippenhammer, the wide out to the left. The lone back is Dominic Scott. Here's the snap. From the pocket, Stiebling looks. He's got a lot of time. Now he's going to take off, and as he runs, pump fake, keeps running at the 50 and dives for the first down stick at the 48, and he's going to be really close. 12 yards for Stiebling. And the Snider offensive line did a great job providing a beautiful pocket for Stiebling, and eventually he saw a seam and was able to take off and run, and he's going to be very close to the first down. They're going to have to bring the sticks on to measure it.
Yeah, last week against Concordia, they gave him some time. He was making some passes, and then there was nothing there, and he took off and ran one like 36 yards for a touchdown, and he was gone in a blink of an eye because he's one of the runners on their 4x100 team on the track team with Turner.
And this could be the first decision of the game if he's short. If he's short, it's going to be a 4th and inches. They extend the chain, and first down, and it took a second look. Yeah, I think it's the nose of the football.
Yeah, that official had to get really close to take a look at that one.
And look at it a couple of times. First down, Snider. They needed 12. They got 12. They're at the Carroll 48 after one first down on this drive. Game started with a couple of penalties on kickoffs that went out of bounds. Gives Snider good position, and now they're trying to take advantage. They'll fake the sweep. Stiebling will tuck it and keep it. Follow the left side of the line to the 45 and then be spun down. Good defensive play to bring down Stiebling after a 3-yard pickup. Second down and 7.
He took a big hit that time. I think it was by number 61. Manny Ifon? Is that how you say that? 61. Yeah.
Second down, 7 at the 45. From the left hash, Stiebling shotgun. Scott the lone back. Slot to the right. Man in motion. Hippenhammer across formation left to right. And then Stiebling will turn. And they'll bunch up the trip receivers here on the right side. It's the wide side. And eventually they got to call a timeout. A lot of confusion in the Snider offense. And it's going to force Kurt Tippmann to burn a timeout with 10:08 remaining in our first quarter. A scoreless game. The Snider Panthers have it at the Carroll 45 at 2nd and 7 when we return. You're listening to the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. Silverado, the benchmark of full-size pickups. Stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever. Impala, delivering refinement and efficiency in a full-size sedan for 50 years. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise Eco, delivering 42 miles per gallon. The starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet. 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 44 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Online at CrumbackChevy.com.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Second down, 7 for the Panthers. Play action. Stiebling throws near sideline. Ball is caught. Bramley, he spins. Can't get away from Blake Schumacher. Nice open field tackle by the Carroll senior to bring down Bramley after only a 1-yard gain.
That play just took forever to develop, didn't it? When we watch
long throw from the left hash all the way to the right sideline too, and it takes a while to get there. Schumacher had a nice open field tackle, and it's third down and about 6. Drop in the pocket from the right hash. Stiebling looking left. He'll fire to the far sideline. Hippenhammer went up and had to go off his fingertips, incomplete.
That was a very catchable ball right there.
They say if you can get it on your fingers as a receiver, you should catch it. Hippenhammer went up high and stretched, but the ball did clear him right off the fingertips, incomplete. And now it brings up a punting situation for the Snider Panthers, facing a 4th down and 6 at the Carroll 44. On to do the kicking for the Snider Panthers, Trent Morgan. Averages 36.4 yards a boot this year. There's the snap, and the kick is away. High kick, pretty good kick. Carrying back inside the 10-yard line. A fair catch taken by Justin Becker somewhere near the 7 or 8. So the Chargers will start with difficult field position following a 36-yard punt by Trent Morgan. 9:24 remaining in our first quarter, still scoreless. Snider got the ball on their own 42 after a couple of kicks went out of bounds. They couldn't do a whole lot with it. Heading away to Carroll, and now the Chargers for the first time on offense with senior quarterback Aiden Smith at the helm. He too will go shotgun, but they'll put 2 backs offset I in the backfield with Aiden Smith, and they'll give it to the tailback. I think it's Novotny who carries it, and he gets hit right as he crosses the line of scrimmage. A very short gain right up the middle, and that Snider defense came up and stuck the hole well to limit the damage on that run.
Yeah, I believe that was maybe. Yeah, Austin France, the transfer from Homestead, was on that tackle.
Austin France, a big sophomore. 6'4", 190-pound linebacker. Here they'll fake the jet sweep, give it to the back, and he's got room bouncing it outside, and Zavino will take it to the right side and go all the way out near the 20-yard line where he'll get a first down on about a 10-yard carry. That time Snider may have overreacted to that jet sweep that they had the man in motion right to left. They faked it, and it opened up the other side of the field for the running back.
Yeah, they had him in the backfield pretty much, and he just got right out of the tackle.
4 wide for Carroll. Play action, throw on a hitch route, right side. It's caught at the 25, immediately wrapped up and tackled by Dominic Slaughter. The catch is made by Cody Dinan for about a 4-yard gain. It will be 2nd down and 6. Ball's at the 24-yard line, and again, they go 4 wide, single back, and a shotgun for Aiden Smith. Ball's on the right hash for the Carroll Chargers. From the 24, 2nd and 6, and they'll give it on the sweep. And here comes Schmeling, and he'll bring it right to left near sideline, runs out of space and gets taken down by 2 or 3 Panthers, and I think that's so tough to run east and west against a fast defense like the Snider Panthers.
Yeah, and that was number 38, Janari Brown, on that tackle. He had a huge interception last week. Very difficult, but that jet sweep keeps you honest on a lot of the times, and that's exactly what Carroll's trying to do early.
7:40 and the clock runs in our first quarter. We're scoreless. Chargers with the football. 3rd down and 6. Roll to the right. Smith will throw far sideline. Dinan with the catch at the 35, and he turns to the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 37. A 12-yard gain, nothing fancy, a little down and out route, just enough to get the first down for Dinan, and Smith with a strike to complete the pass.
And that was Snider's downfall last week a lot, as they couldn't get off the field on 3rd down.
1st and 10 Chargers at their own 37, and we've got whistles on the snap, and there's a flag. It'll be, I believe, a false start against the Carroll Chargers, putting the ball back 5 more yards. It is a false start, so that will move it back to the 32, where it'll be 1st and 15. But the one thing the Chargers have done with this drive so far, Ryan, is it started in the 8, so they've gotten themselves out of that grave area where you don't want to get in that field position game against a high-powered offense like Snider. So now at least if they do punt it away, they can hopefully limit the field position. Shotgun Smith, right hash. And he'll give to the back. In the backfield, the Panthers blow it up. Zach McDowell, the sophomore, breaks in and takes down the running back almost immediately for a loss. It's going to be 2nd down and a long way to go for Carroll.
Now let's see what Snider draws up here on 3rd and long, because they don't blitz that often, and they kind of sit back in their zone and try to let their coverage take over. But, you know, it didn't work last week. See if Coach Tippmann goes with the blitz here. 2nd
down and 21. The ball rolling Smith to the left. He'll float it man-to-man, Newlot, and it's incomplete. waited to see if there'd be a flag on Taj Starks, who had man-to-man against Newlant, and Hayden Newlant did everything he could to try to draw one, but the officials with a no call. So it'll be 3rd down and 21, the ball going all the way back to Carroll's 27, and the Chargers continue to go the no huddle. Anzavino is the back behind Aiden Smith. You've got Becker in a slot to the left, Schmeling a slot to the right, Dinan wide right, Newlant wide left. There's the shotgun, and here comes the blitz, and Janari Brown broke the plane before the snap, and it'll be an offside call against Janari Brown and the Snider Panthers. Brown trying to blitz from that outside linebacker's spot. He tried to time the count and just got a bit ahead of it.
If he times it right, he's probably hitting Aiden Smith as soon as he plants his back foot.
Well, that's the thing. When you've got 4 wide, you don't have that extra lineman to protect on the blitz. You've got the running back, Anzavino, and I think that's what Brown was trying to do. Instead of sitting back on a 3rd and 21, they were trying to be aggressive and force pressure on Aiden Smith, but it's 5-yard penalty. Now it's 3rd down and 16. The ball will sit at Carroll's own 32-yard line. First down stick is out at the 47, so we'll call it 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Tippmann agrees with the call. He's over here having a very heated conversation with the official.
Well, and it was one of those where Janari Brown broke for the line of scrimmage and then put on the brakes just as he got there, and his momentum was kind of carrying him over. But Tippmann trying to say he got stopped and he never really broke into the neutral zone. It should not have been a penalty, but
well,
and then the other thing is the march off, because it was 3rd down and 21. They marched off 5 yards, but now it's definitely 3rd and 15. And so Tippmann could also be asking about the march off and the penalty.
You know, for Snider's defense, I think you want to keep Aiden Smith in the pocket. You don't want to get him outside the pocket.
And Dom Slaughter, the official, just went up and sent him to the sideline. I don't know if he's got some blood or what the situation is, but he's coming off. And coming in, it is Demarius Ridley returning. He's got a cast on his hand. He's been out a couple of weeks with a hand injury, but in the first 2 weeks of the season, he had 3 picks in the first 2 games.
He's a ball hawk. He's a lot like Jesse Bates.
4 wide, the ball's in the middle of the field. 6:49 remaining in our first quarter. Still scoreless. Chargers from their own 32. 3rd and 15. Drop in the pocket. Smith looks. He has to escape some pressure. It's coming. He scrambles to the left and then takes off running. The 30, 35, and he's brought down in the open field near the 39. And there's Demarius Ridley, who came all the way across the field from the far side to come over and take down Aiden Smith. A good 8 yards short of the first down. It'll be a 4th down, and the Chargers send out the punting unit.
And here's where it gets dangerous if you're Carroll, because you have to pick your poison here. Who are you going to kick it to? David Turner or Mac Hippenhammer? Or do you kick it out of bounds?
Jack Shannon will come in to do the punting. 13 punts on the year, a 40-yard average. Very good average for Shannon, the junior kicker for the Chargers. Ball's on the left hash, exactly 6 minutes left here in the first quarter, and Snider will go on the offense, and a very short kick. It bounces at the Snider 40, and it'll be down at the 39. So again, the Panthers will get great field position after a 22-yard kick by Jack Shannon. And that may just be the fear of the return, and Shannon having things in his head because he's also the kicker. We saw him kick it out of bounds twice because he wanted to avoid the long return on the kickoff. And now on the punt, an uncharacteristically short punt for the junior punter, Jack Shannon.
Yeah, and this time it looks like Money Woods is going to be in the backfield instead of Scott.
5:47 remains in our first quarter, scoreless. Snider the football. They've got it on the right hash at their own 39-yard line. Trip receivers, wide side left. And it'll be a read option. Then they'll throw the pass on the slant over the middle, and it's ahead of Bramley and almost picked off by the safety Connor Tapp. Stiebling off target on that one, and Bramley seeming a little surprised that the ball came to him so quickly.
Actually, it's a pretty good read, just a poorly thrown ball. He threw it just as he came out of his break.
Second down 10, Snider, the ball at the 39. Isaac Stiebling gets the snap, and here's the option to the left. Stiebling the keep. He's across the 45, out close to a first down at the 48-yard line. About a yard shy of the first down. Making the tackle for the Carroll Chargers, it's Gavin Pelkington, the outside linebacker. Third down and 1 now for Snider, and again, the hurry up. They'll line up, and this time they'll put an extra back in the backfield, and that is DeAndrew Stroud, and he is a 5'11", 230-pound junior power back, and he'll be the lead blocker for Woods, and Woods stood up at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he got it.
Well, they're giving him a pretty good spot wherever that official's running in at.
It's going to be very close. They'll give him about 2 feet on the carry. He needed a yard. I think he's just shy, and the referee doesn't even have to bring the stick out. It's about the length of a football short of a first down near midfield. What does Coach Tippmann want to do? Fourth down and less than a foot, and he's going to put the punting unit out.
Wow. Usually Coach Tippmann's a gambler.
Not going to gamble here, and it's fourth down and less than a foot to go at their own 49, but Snider will line up at least in punt formation.
I'm not sure Carroll's buying this.
They may try to draw the Chargers offside. No, they'll snap it, and he'll kick it. Morgan with the kick, not very deep, and it goes out of bounds on the far sideline, somewhere near the 25-yard line. They'll say it is out of bounds at the 25, which is a 26-yard kick. No return. Carroll will start with 4:12 remaining in our first quarter. Still scoreless. First and 10 at their own 25, and I don't know about you, Ryan, but I expected to have some offensive fireworks, and so far both defenses have come to play.
They have, and I'm sure both coaches challenge their defenses, especially Snider, since they've given up so many points in the first half in the last 3 weeks.
Aiden Smith is on the second drive for the Chargers. Last one started at their own 8. This time they start at the 25. Shotgun, and it's a read option. Smith keeps in the pressure, gets in the backfield, and takes Smith down. It looked like it was Marcus Green getting into the backfield that time and dragging down Aiden Smith for a loss back at the 21.
That's 4 out of the last 5 plays where the Panthers have literally been in the backfield as he's just trying to hand off the ball.
Snider not huge like we've seen some Snider teams in the past, but they are quick. They're also young. A couple of sophomores on the defensive front. Second down, 15, quick drop. Smith looks to throw from the pocket, fires it over the middle into double coverage. He had Becker on a post route over the middle, but almost triple coverage that time on Becker. Incomplete, third down and 15.
Yeah, Isaiah Knight Nearson for the Panthers had his eyes on that ball. If he intercepts that, that's a pick 6 right there. See what the Snider dial is up here, or if even Carroll goes with maybe a draw or a screenplay.
3:36 on the clock, first quarter. Third down, 15, drop, it'll be a screen. They'll dump it off Novotny, and he had to go off his hands. Incomplete. Another ball probably catchable, but Aiden Smith will probably tell you that you can't put a screen that high to a running back out of the backfield. Tough catch for Novotny. He doesn't make it. Now it's 4th and long, and Carroll on a 3 and out will kick it right back to the Snider Panthers.
Yeah, they only had the ball 50 seconds in that drive. That time, Aiden Smith had to throw over the long arms of Lawrence Johnson, who was in the backfield again.
Shannon again on to kick it for the Carroll Chargers out near midfield at their own 44. It's the tandem of Hippenhammer and Turner. Shannon turns it toward the sideline, and he drilled this kick a long way out of bounds. And it's going to be out of bounds somewhere near the 35-yard line.
Probably closer to the 32.
They'll say it's right at the 35, where it's 1st and 10 now for the Snider Panthers. They'll start their third possession with 3:23 remaining in our opening quarter. Still scoreless.
You know, one thing I don't think Carroll was anticipating is how much Isaac Stiebling is going to run the ball tonight for the Panthers, because he's only been averaging probably 2 or 3 carries a game, and he's already gone 3 times in this first half. Now he's got Scott behind him this time. See if they tried to establish a run. Only 2 wide receivers. They do have 3 wide receivers out there.
Yeah, Bramley is wide right all by himself. To the left in the slot, Turner. Wide left is Hippenhammer. Roll to the right, Stiebling. He'll throw back over the middle. Turner, a sliding catch, and he makes it. Not at the 47, and we might have a late hit on Stiebling that'll add 15 to the end of this one. A flag in the backfield where Stiebling threw it. They'll say Turner made the catch at the 46.5. That's a first down. That's 11 yards.
I think they called that on James Jamisich on that one.
Now the officials will discuss. Stiebling bouncing around in the backfield trying to shake it off. It's a personal foul, late hit roughing the passer against the Chargers, and a 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of this one, putting the ball somewhere near the inside the 40 of Carroll.
And that's big. You don't want to give Snider any extra yards. Why are they not marching off any yards here, Brett?
It's a 15-yard penalty, and they marched off 4 yards.
Maybe they called it an incomplete pass. That has to be what happened.
Well, they were marking it like it was a completion. They were standing at the 46 like it was a completion.
So another official must have ran in there and changed that.
So they'll say incomplete pass and give them 15 yards on the penalty, but the ball sitting at the 50. Stiebling will hand to the back. It's Scott trying to bounce it out to the right. He's into Charger territory and hit near the 46, falling to the 45. A 5-yard carry for Dominic Scott. Second down 5 for the Panthers.
Wow, that looked like he called all the linemen go to your right. He pulled everybody and everybody went that way. Every single offensive lineman and tight end was over there on the right side.
Turner the slot left, wide left Hippenhammer, wide right Bramley. Shotgun for Stiebling, second down 5 from the Chargers 45. And it's play action. Stiebling from the pocket, fires over the middle, caught by Bramley at the 31. He's wrapped up, the ball free. He fumbled it, and it's recovered by the Carroll Chargers. Or is it?
It looks like it. No, it's
Chargers football. The officials talk about it, but they've already pointed that it's Carroll football. Bramley had the catch as he went down. He fumbled, and the Chargers recover at their own 30.
You had a good view of that. I couldn't see it. I was blocked off over here.
2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter. That's the first turnover of the game. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers from their own 30-yard line. And Coach Tippmann wants an explanation. It looked like one official maybe was going to call Bramley down, a knee down before the ball came free. But it will be a turnover. The Carroll offense is back out. Aiden Smith from the right hash gives to the running back, trying to pick a hole. Anzavino, and he's got a hole up the middle. The 40, 45, and out to the 46-yard line.
And that's exactly where the Cadets ran last week with Gilligrand, right up the middle on most of their runs.
16 yards up the middle for Anzavino, who showed great patience in waiting for that hole to open up. 1st and 10 Chargers. They've got it out as far as they've had it so far in the first quarter at their own 46-yard line. Becker in motion across formation. Handoff up the middle, and this time Snider is there waiting. Tackle made at the 45. It'll be about a yard loss. And Snider again plugging the holes up the middle, and I think the Chargers, who would love to run the football, but they just can't do it consistently against the Panthers defensively. Second down 11 from the 45. Smith, play action. Sets up. Here comes a rush. Down goes Smith at the 35. They brought the blitz. A corner blitz came. You had Johnson coming from the end, a blitz on the other side, and they got to Smith and took him down back at the 36-yard line.
Wow, he turned. The good thing he turned and saw Johnson coming at him, or that could have been a heck of a collision, a blindside hit.
Johnson, the defensive end, I thought he was lined up as a linebacker, but he's a defensive end that came wide and got to Smith from the blind side. Drops Smith now in the pocket, facing 3rd down and long. He's chased from the pocket. Over on the right side, he drops the ball, but he's able to jump on it at the 40-yard line. It'll be a positive play of about 3 or 4 yards, but with 4th and 21 or 3rd and 21, that's nowhere near a first down. It's going to be 4th down and about 15 or 16 to go. And another punting situation. And it's amazing with these two offenses, in a game that I thought would be offensive fireworks, we're seeing a defensive gem that both teams have probably punted about as much here in the first quarter as they have almost all year. Chargers to punt. Here's the boot by Shannon. Low line drive. It'll bounce near the far sideline and go out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
That was weird, whatever Snider was doing there for that kick return, because every guy went in and hit the offensive lineman and then peeled off and came over here to our near sideline here. I think they were setting it up for over here, but obviously they hadn't figured out that they keep kicking it out of bounds.
So the Panthers get the football with 1 minute 17 seconds left here in the first quarter. Scoreless between Snider and Carroll. Snider comes in averaging about 55 points a game. They're the 5th highest scoring team in the state, so you've got to consider this first quarter to be a real win for the Carroll Chargers defense. Stiebling sets up, throws, wide receiver screen, caught by Hippenhammer. He picks away at a hole and gets across the 30, almost to the 31. That will be 5 or 6 yards on that wide receiver screen. Second down, and let's see, they will give him 6. It'll be second down. No, they'll give him 7 out to the 31. So second down and 3, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. A scoreless first quarter between two high-powered offenses. 0-0. We'll head to the second when we return. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
Before or after the game or anytime, Pizza Hut invites you to come in and enjoy a large, hot-from-the-oven pizza with your choice of crust and toppings beginning at $11. Or have you tried Pizza Hut's award-winning Wing Street Wings? Available in 3 styles and 8 great flavors from mild to hot, Wing Street Wings are crowd pleasers. Want exclusive deals and savings? Become a Hut lover by signing up at pizzahut.com. With dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, order America's favorite pizza and award-winning Wing Street Wings at Pizza Hut. The perfect post-game destination is your convenient hometown Pizza Hut.
For 16 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 4 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Best Deal Auto Sales. BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com. Let's send it back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Starting the second quarter here at Spooler Stadium with Ryan Dellinger, I'm Brett Rump. First play for the Panthers on a 2nd and 3 as they give to the tailback Money Woods, who follows the left side of his line for a short gain. Picked up a couple, so it's 3rd down and 1. Ball's on the left hash for Snider. We're scoreless here at the start of the second quarter. Stiebling calling out the play. Trip receivers to the right. Nobody lined up wide left. The back is Woods over the left shoulder of Stiebling, and there's penetration, but Woods escapes and he spins his way out to the 35 and a first down.
That's 2 hard runs by Money Woods. They're going over the left side with Bryce Knapp and Zenden Dellinger there. They like running right at Pelkington for some reason, who's actually had a pretty good game thus far.
Carroll had him in the backfield. Stiebling, I think, surprised that Woods was able to escape from the backfield and turn it into a first down carry.
Yeah, here's another one of those formations that Snider runs. You got to be careful of Stiebling running the ball.
Dominic Scott will come in, but he'll immediately go to a wideout. Empty backfield with Stiebling, 4 wide. Cross formation Turner, and it will be Stiebling looking for a hole, and he dropped the football, but an offensive lineman right there to jump on it. It's the tight end, Bryson Half, who alertly recovered the Isaac Stiebling fumble at the 36-yard line.
I'm not sure if the balls are slick or what out there, but we've seen so many drop balls already. I don't know if there's a little dew already starting up on the grass, or if they're just very moist balls, or they're brand new balls for that matter.
And we may see some nerves that we haven't seen a lot of. I mean, both these teams know how big this game is. They've both had their share of mistakes with drop passes, a big penalty. Here's Stiebling, throw out the right flag, caught by Turner at the 42, and as he gets to the 45, he slips and falls down near the 46 or 47. That's a first down. But Ryan, you might be right. Maybe the grass is getting a little slick because as Turner got toward that far sideline where the grass is a little wetter because of early rain today, he did have his feet slide out from under him.
Yeah, he sure did. And I see if Snider goes back to that play a little bit later on because they actually got both the free safety and the corner to bite on Turner and left Scott running wide open down the sideline. 1st and 10 Panthers in a scoreless game just 2 minutes into our second quarter. Stiebling, shotgun, one back, slot to the left, and it'll be a give to Money Woods. He escapes one at the 48, across midfield to 50, 45, 40, and he's still taking tacklers inside the 35 to the 34. What a run, 19 yards for Money Woods. You got some help that time by Kenneth Hurt and Zenda Dellinger. Both of them came around from the right side and just sealed off that whole left side of the line for Carroll. This is the first real penetration into Carroll territory for the Panthers.
Woods is only a 5'8", 170-pound back. He is not the power back of the tandem Woods and Scott, but he showed some real strength to break away from tackles that time and move the chains. Snider now with their farthest advancement into Charger territory. They are at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Stiebling on the shotgun, play action, rolls to the right, throws right flat. Again, it's Turner catching it at the 30, the 25, and down inside the 20. Same play they just threw a moment ago, and again Turner breaks out in that open flat with nobody covering him, and a good gain will again be a first down for Snider.
Yeah, there's no answer for David Turner. He can take you deep, he can go over the middle, he can run with the ball anytime he catches it. He's probably the most dangerous weapon in the SAC as a wide receiver.
Turner is matched up against Connor Tapp, a safety, and here comes Woods, bouncing it wide left, and he is in the open field. Corralled and thrown down by Blake Schumacher at the 13-yard line, and Blake Schumacher, arguably one of the best defenders, especially in the secondary, that we see in the SAC.
If he gets his hands on you, you can't get by him. We've seen both of his tackles really tonight be hands tackles where he just grabs them and throws them to the ground.
A lot of it is just the attitude and the confidence that he carries himself with out there. He is going to go wide, match up against Mac Hippenhammer, man-to-man. Snider, 2nd down and about 6. Ball's at the 13-yard line. We'll call it the 14. Stiebling from the left hash. Lone back is Dominic Scott. I believe it's Scott. And then we had neutral zone infraction, and that's going to be called against the Chargers. Gavin Pelkington up front. He jumped into the neutral zone and a 5-yard penalty. This will put it inside the 10-yard line to the 9, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and about a yard for the Chargers. In the red zone, a scoreless game with 8:35 to go in our second quarter. The clock runs. Stiebling immediately throws right, wide receiver screen. It goes to Turner. He's got blocking. Turner, touchdown, Panthers. 9 yards out, David Turner. Six nothing. Panthers lead it over the Chargers. Set up perfectly. That slot receiver screen where they've got two wideouts as lead blockers. Turner read it perfectly and just worked his way 9 yards into the end zone. Panthers strike first with 8:24 remaining in our second quarter. And it's going to be Paul Buseman on to try to add the extra point. Bryson Haft will snap it. There's the set, and the kick by Buseman is up and good, and the Panthers lead it 7-0. Another scoring drive that's presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, be sure to choose a car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. 7-0 Panthers, 8:24 remaining in the second quarter. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
When you're looking for a new home, seek the counsel of a friend who knows the housing market better than a running back knows touchdowns. Lee Prescott and Northeastern Group Realty can provide valuable information that is important to your family, like a detailed summary of area schools, nearby amenities, and market analysis. Call or text Lee Prescott at 260-385-9883 and Let him score the home you've always wanted. Lee Prescott and Northeastern Group Realty, changing the way Northeastern Indiana views real estate with real knowledge, proven experience, and professional quality service.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Snider Panthers jump in front of the Carroll Chargers with 8:24 remaining in the second quarter, 7-0. Now Snider set to kick off to do the kicking for the Panthers. It'll be Trent Morgan, and here's the kick. Low line drive, and it carries all the way to about the 2 to 3 yard line. The return right up the middle of the field. They try to set up a wedge across the 30, out to about the 35-yard line, and still not down. Now the 40, and he actually takes the pile to about the 42 or 43 with no whistle, and I'm not even sure who got the return on the bottom there. I know that we've seen Becker, Schumacher, and a number of other players. That's Schumacher. What a hard run. He refused to go down.
Looked like his progress was stopped at about the 35, and then everybody joined him and just pushed the pile.
That's a 41-yard return on the kick. It sets up Carroll 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Best starting field position the Chargers have had with 8:07 remaining in the second quarter. Carroll down 7-0. Here's a roll to the right. Smith looks like a designed run, but there's no hole, and here comes the pursuit. Smith will go down at the 40. He loses 3. And Snider just making a living in that Carroll backfield. From not only the defensive line, but that time they had Drew Brelsford, the linebacker, back there as well.
And you know, Snider's changed up their defense tonight. Their defensive ends are not crashing. They're in contain, which is different from what they normally play.
Shotgun for Smith. Quick throw left flat. Ball's caught at the 45, 50, 45, 40. Here goes Becker down the sideline, one man to beat, and he's knocked out of bounds. A big gain all the way to the 20-yard line. That is 40 yards, and you see the breakaway speed by Justin Becker, the sophomore receiver for the Carroll Chargers.
Yeah, that time they caught Snider blitzing, and it was man-to-man, and he only needed one guy to beat, and he certainly did at that time.
3 receivers to the right, the wide side. 1 receiver, Hayden Newlott by himself on the left, and the give to the tailback up the middle. The run, and there's a fumble. Ball's free. At the 17, their ball's free. There's a pile up, and we wait to see who's got the ball, and it's Carroll. And that's a big break that the Chargers had an offensive lineman that was able to jump on that. Jesse Lawson, the center, was able to find that ball and jump on it, saving the turnover. 2nd down, 7 from about the 14-yard line. Shotgun for Aiden Smith. And he will fake the handoff and keep it. He's got room. 10, 5, touchdown, Aiden Smith. 17 yards, touchdown Smith, and now an extra point could tie it for the Carroll Chargers. Everybody went for the running back on the fake. Maybe now we'll see the fireworks we expected. It took almost a quarter and a half to get our first points, but then it only took less than 2 minutes for Carroll to answer the initial Snider score. Now it's JP Anzini who will try to tie it up with the extra point. Cody Ninan will hold. The snap, the set, and the kick is up, and the kick is right through the uprights and good. 6:49 remaining in our first half here at Schooler Stadium. And the Carroll Chargers have tied it up with the Snider Panthers 7-7. It's another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, be sure to get your next car, truck, or SUV at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best financing, best value, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. The Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week will return on ESPN Radio 1380.
We're 16 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 4 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales.
Best Deal Auto Sales.
BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com.
Welcome to Friday Night Football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
6:49 remaining in our first half, and it's tied 7-7, Snider and Carroll. Snider scored first on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Stiebling to David Turner, but Carroll comes right back, and Aiden Smith with his third touchdown in the last couple of games. This one from 17 yards out has tied it up for Carroll. Jack Shannon will kick, and he will kick it deep near sideline, and Hippenhammer will have a chance from the 4. The 10 coming down the near numbers. He crosses the 20 and runs into a host of Carroll Chargers and dragged out of bounds somewhere near the 25-yard line. 6:42 remains in our first half, a tie game 7-7. I know we're going to be getting the halftime scoreboard from around the area, Ryan, and some big games tonight. Already we know that Leo jumped out on East Noble up in Kendallville 7-0. Adams Central an early 7-0 lead over the Heritage Patriots. And 14-7 Lures over Concordia in SAC football.
Yeah, and Garrett's up 14-0 over East Side.
That our game of the week on ESPN Radio 106.7 FM with Shane Alvarani. Panthers set up left hash from the 24. Stiebling rolling right, throws, and again, same type of play. Running a receiver wide to the sideline. It's caught by Bramley, and he escapes one, and it may have been a face mask that finally pulled him down. There's a flag at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was. He just reached out right at the end. I don't think it was even intentional. He just got underneath the face mask and pulled him. See if this is the 5-yard variety or the 15-yard variety personal foul.
The completion out to the 41-yard line, which will be a 16-yard gain, and trying to see if they gave it the personal foul or just the 5-yard. I think it might be just a 5-yard penalty, Ryan. 6:33 remaining.
Yeah, well, it didn't look very intentional there. He just was running by and got caught up in the play there.
7-7 the score, but the Panthers again out near midfield. Well, it took a long time to get points on the board, but in the last couple of minutes, we've seen 2 touchdowns, and now the Panthers moving it again. Here's Stiebling, a keeper, bouncing it wide to the left. Here comes pursuit. Stiebling will be chased down at the 46. No gain at all, and getting in there is Nick Parker, the linebacker for the Carroll Chargers.
That was good pursuit that time by the Carroll there. They just weren't contained the whole time, and Stiebling ran right into those defensive linebackers for Carroll.
Ball's at the 46, second down, and about 10.5. Shotgun for Stiebling from the left hash. He puts a slot to the right. He'll drop back, look to throw. Looks over the middle, now throws it toward the right. A crossing route to Hippenhammer. The catch made, the ball knocked away, and it's picked up by Carroll. Far sideline on the return, and I don't know if that's Connor on the return.
It was.
Dylan Connor picked it up, took it back, and it's going to be great field position as he took it inside the 30 of the Snider Panthers. Another turnover.
They're just not securing the ball.
Hippenhammer a crossing route, and it took a long time for him to go from wide left all the way across the field to the right. Stiebling dumped it to him underneath. He made the catch, but was stripped shortly after catching the ball. And Dylan Connor, the linebacker for the Carroll Chargers, picked it up, immediately headed the other way on the far sideline, and they'll say he stepped out at the 30-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Carroll Chargers, trying to break a 7-7 tie with 5:44 remaining in the second quarter. Aiden Smith goes shotgun with a slot each side. Single back in the backfield, and Zavino. Play action, Smith the throw, short right side. The ball is caught at the 25. A flag in the backfield. Jordan Schmeling will make the catch. It's only about a 4-yard gain, but now let's see what the flag in the backfield is going to be.
Well, they threw it about where Aiden threw the pass, didn't they?
It's either holding or and they're stepping it back. It looks like it's going to be a holding penalty against the Carroll Chargers. Sometimes you see mistakes with turnovers, sometimes penalties. And that will be a 10-yard march off from where the violation occurred, which will put it all the way back at the 43. And they've got to get to almost the 20 for the first down, so it's second down and about 23 to go.
Well, that's a huge penalty.
Clock winds with 5.5 to play here in the second quarter, tied 7-7 from the Snider 43. Pitch play, and it's Becker, the speed slot, who was in the backfield, and he can't get around the corner on the right side. And look at the linemen that chase him all the way down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. That time it was Marcus Green.
William Johnson on that play totally stood the defensive tackle or the offensive tackle up for Carroll, and that allowed the pursuit to slow that play down.
Trip receivers left. Ball's on the right hash. Aiden Smith will roll to the left. He will look. Now he'll set, throw deep, and over the head of Schmeling at the 20-yard line. The incomplete pass will bring up third down and 26. And the Chargers, after the turnover, started at the Snider 30. Now it's third and 26 with the ball back at the Snider 46-yard line.
I'm sure Carroll wasn't expecting Snider's defense to stay contained from their defensive end position. It's just not something Snider does rarely. And tonight, they're in very good contain on the outside with Green and Johnson and McDowell.
Defensive line very impressive here in the first half for the Snider Panthers. Here's a drop in the pocket. Smith looks to throw. Here comes pressure. Now he tucks it and runs. 45-40. Escapes the tackle. 35, but can't get away from the second man as Isaiah Knight near Austin will come up and hit him and take him down at the 33-yard line, where he's 13 yards short of a first down.
I think they're going to go for it.
You would think at this position of the field it would be an area where you might go for it. It would be a 50-yard field goal attempt if you tried that. If you punt it and it goes into the end zone, you only will gain 13 yards, and if you punt it and it doesn't go in the end zone, it may end up in the hands of Mac Hippenhammer or David Turner, and that's not a great proposition either.
I think they're going to let the clock run all the way down here and call a timeout and then discuss it here, Brett.
4:05 on the game clock, down to 10 seconds on the play clock, and that's what they're going to do. A whole offense is over on the far sideline talking to Coach Doug Dinan, and there'll be a timeout called, so we'll take a break. At Spiller Stadium, 3:50 on the clock, and, well, the clock keeps running. It should have stopped.
Yeah, the clock.
There it is, finally, 3:44. So that's how much time we've got left here in the first half. 7-7 is our score. And we've got a break in the action. We'll take a break as well. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
When an injury knocks you out of the game, call Parkview Sports Medicine. Whether you're an aspiring pro or a recreational athlete, our team of orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and athletic trainers will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. Parkview Sports Medicine will get you back to the action quickly and safely, because the game just isn't the same without you. Call Parkview Sports Medicine today at 260-266-4007 and make our team of expert physicians your dream team. We'll get you back in the game.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
3:50 on the clock, second quarter here at Spiller Stadium. A tie game, 7-7. The Snider Panthers and the Carroll Chargers. And Carroll facing a fourth down and about 12 to go. Will first look like they'll go for it, then they drop back to punt, and there's no deep return man. What a brilliant play by Carroll, because now you don't have Hippenhammer and Turner to worry about. You can just punch it down there and try to down it somewhere close inside the 5, and it will be downed inside the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Brilliant move. By calling the timeout, it made Snider believe that Carroll was going to go for it. And then they sent the punt unit out, and Snider did not have their punt return personnel out there. And they didn't want to burn a timeout, and so now they're pinned back inside the 1-yard line with 3:41 to play in the first half and a tie game 7-7.
Well, a special teams coach was not ready for that, for sure, for the Panthers. You at least got to have one of your guys, Turner or Hippenhammer, standing right next to you just in case they try and do that.
So Snider comes out offensively. Again, Isaac Stiebling, but we'll see what kind of formation they get in. They usually are going to be in a shotgun, but pinned back inside the one. Stiebling may get under center. And this will be an exchange that they don't work on a whole lot. Stiebling will go direct under center for the snap, and it's a quarterback sneak just trying to get some distance between the line of scrimmage and that goal line, and there's not much there. Pretty good job up front by the Carroll defense to stand the play up, and Stiebling only able to get about a half yard. Second down, 9. Well, we'll give him a full yard out to the 2. Clock runs down to 3:10 to play here in the first half. A tie game, 7-7. Snider with the football, second down, 9. Just outside there, 2. And from the end zone, Stiebling goes to throw. He's wrapped up, but he got it away over the middle, and it's incomplete into double coverage out at the 30-yard line, deep over the middle to Malik Bramley. But they're two Chargers, Jack Givens and Connor Tapp, both there on the coverage, and now it brings up a third down and 9 from the 2 with a very risky play call by the Snider Panthers.
Yeah, I'm not sure which guy was in there so quick. It looked like Pelkington again was right there when he got ready to throw it. You know, that's a good play by Stiebling. He actually stepped up through the tackle and just threw it flat-footed about 35 yards.
The clock stops with 2:59 remaining in the half. And shotgun for Stiebling, rolling to the right, looking to throw. And he'll tuck it and run across the 5, goes down around the 8. Well short of a first down. Snider is going to have to punt from their own end zone. Fourth down and about 3 to go. And the Snider Panthers on fourth down are going to have to punt, but they are not sending out the punting unit. And again, if they're going to give it up to Carroll and the Chargers will get this punt somewhere near midfield, Snider wants to make sure there's as little time as possible for Carroll. So Snider's turn to let the clock run down. Play clock down to 8. So the clock will stop somewhere around 2:09. And there's the timeout that'll be called at 2:11. So a timeout on the field. Tie score, 7-7. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left before we hit the halftime break. We'll come back. It is your partner's first Federal Credit Union high school football game of the week on ESPN Radio 1380.
It's challenging when you're trying to find an auto mechanic that will quickly diagnose the problem, repair it properly, and charge you a price that doesn't leave you counting the days to your next paycheck. Cruzy Automotive Service treats your car like they treat their family's cars, and they've been trusted by Northeast Indiana customers since 1971. For scheduled maintenance or repairs, visit Jim Cruzy at Cruzy Automotive Service on Lima Road just north of Wallen. Call 489-1089 or find them online at cruzyautomotivein.net.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
It's all about the defense here in the first half. And right now, Carroll has Snider pinned deep, facing fourth down and 3. On to kick is Trent Morgan. The Snider punter will stand about 5 yards deep in the end zone to take the snap from Bryson Haft. It's a good snap. The kick is away, but it's very short. It'll bounce at the 35, take a Snider bounce to the 40, and then roll back from the 41 to the 40 where it is downed. So that's a 32-yard kick for Morgan, but Carroll starts in Snider territory at the Panther 40-yard line. They've got 2:01 to work with here late in the first half.
Just look like so when Snider punts, those guys that are back there blocking for him are so far back. When he catches it and takes a step, he's right on top of him. Those guys need to move up about a yard and a half, so he doesn't kick them in the back. Both times it looks like he shanked it off his foot.
And that's a point that they line up and they're about 5 yards in front of him. But when he steps up a yard to make the catch and then takes the stride, he is only about a yard or two behind the blockers. And once they're engaged, they are getting pushed almost right back into him. Here's Carroll. Smith, quick throw left flat, and he underthrew the receiver. Trying to get it out there to Jordan Schmeling, and the ball fell near, or Becker rather, Justin Becker. Fell at Becker's feet, incomplete at the 35. Second down 10 for Carroll from the Snider 40 with 1:57 to play, and the clock stopped after the incomplete pass here in the second quarter.
Yeah, go back to that punt, and then he's got to kick over a guy that's 6'7", standing there in front of him. It's very difficult.
His own guy.
Yeah.
Fake handoff. Smith looks for a hole right side, and he'll just take tacklers inside the 40 to the 38. And that's just the strength of the big big quarterback, Aiden Smith, who is 6'2", 190 pounds, but no one has worked more in the gym to be a strong quarterback. Very solid muscular body for Aiden Smith, and that time he used every bit of it because he was hit in the backfield and turned it into a positive 2-yard gain. Third down and 8. Under a minute and a half to play in the first half. Carroll gets the play call sent in from the sideline. There is no huddle. They've got trip receivers left. Shotgun, it looked like motion, but there's no flag. A roll to the left for Smith, a throw on a hitch route, and the completion is made over on that far sideline to Hayden Newlon. Man-to-man working against Dominic Slaughter. The completion on a little hitch route, man-to-man, and a first down for the Chargers at the 27-yard line.
Good pitch and catch there by Aiden Smith.
Approaching 1 minute left in the half, a tie game from the 27. And it's Smith. He fakes the handoff, runs to the far sideline, and gets knocked out of bounds inside the 25. They'll give him the 23. So that's a quick burst for about 4 or 5 yards for Aiden Smith, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:01 remaining here in the second quarter. Now they're starting to get into field goal range.
That last play, he had to knock his own running back out of the way to get those yards.
7-7 the score. Ball's on the left hash. Got an extra tight end in the formation. One less wide out. I formation behind Smith under center. And there's play action. A drop. Smith throwing man-to-man coverage in the end zone off the hands of Justin Becker, incomplete. Snider did a good job. In fact, they had safety help, so it was double coverage in the end zone. Only one receiver really out on that pattern. That was to try to sell the run, draw the defender, and get man-to-man Justin Becker open in the end zone, and Snider didn't bite.
And you said one of these teams is going to have to come up with a play in the pregame that they haven't seen before, and that might have been one of them.
Change the formation, put in a tight end, put in an I formation with a fullback. Now it brings up a 3rd down and 6. And they will fake the handoff. Now Smith will take off. He'll bounce it out to the left, head for the first down stick, and I think he got there before getting knocked out of bounds somewhere just inside or near the 15-yard line, and it is going to be another first down. And Smith doing it all by himself. That time he faked the handoff, and then he had to sit and wait for a hole to develop.
Yeah, it's very good patience there. Big thing for Carroll here is they get points on the board. They get the ball to start the second half.
48.8 seconds remaining in this half. 7-7. Chargers threatening in the red zone. The ball's at the 16. 4 wide for Aiden Smith. Shotgun snap. He dropped it, but as the ball was snapped, there's whistles stopping the clock, and it's an illegal procedure against Carroll. So that takes it from the 16 back out to the 21. And it'll be 1st and 15 with 47.5 seconds. And, you know, Ryan, you almost wonder with the time and the distance and all, if you wonder if the penalty might be a good thing.
Yeah, because it spreads out that field. He's able to, have longer lanes. The guys have to run farther away from him, and then Aiden has been
It might take an extra play to score,
That's
too.
Right.
I mean, you never know, but it's now 47.5 seconds. The clock stopped. 7-7 the score. 1st and 15. Carroll at the Snider 21. And a bad snap. Ball's free in the backfield, and the running back will jump on it. But it's back at the 27 or 28-yard line. So the Chargers lose yardage again. See where they put this. I think they're going to put it at the 28-yard line. And the clock's running. 28 seconds. It keeps running. 26, 25. Shotgun on 2nd down and 22. The snap with 20 seconds. Smith, the roll to the right. He's looking, throws back over the middle, and is caught by Schmeling at the 18. He bounces to the left. He's at the 15. At the 10, chased out of bounds. But now he will be short of the first down.
Do you kick it or go for it here?
And there's 8.8 seconds. It's a third down. It's a third down. I think you've got one shot to go for it before you have to kick it. It's third down and about 3. But I think you've got to throw it.
And you got to throw it quick. A slant?
Yeah, you've got to throw something quick, either a slant or a fade. Take one shot at it. Just don't turn it over. And avoid the sack as well, because the sack will run the clock down.
Aiden run the ball right up the middle. That lane.
But do they have the timeout?
Yeah, they've only used one.
Not sure what the timeout situation is.
Maybe Snider will use the timeout.
Well, somebody's got to call a timeout. There's a timeout called. And it's Carroll calling the timeout. We know they had at least one left because they called the timeout after letting the play clock run all the way down. There's 8.8 seconds remaining, and I would think they would have saved one timeout just in case something happens here. And you know what? I think he's sending in the field goal unit. It's a personnel change one way or another for Carroll because there's guys out and there's guys in. Let's see if it's the field goal unit that's coming on. And here's what's interesting, Ryan. With 8.8 seconds, you can put the field goal unit out there on third down, and you can actually fake it once.
That's right.
You can make it look like you're going. We talk about whether these coaches will try to throw a wrinkle in to fool the other, but they could run a fake here, and if they've got the timeout left, which I still don't know, they may be able to stop it and then kick it for real on fourth down. But it would be interesting, with 8.8 seconds left on the third down, they choose to send the field goal unit out. Anzini will come out. The ball will be set at the 15, so it will be a 25-yard field goal just inside the left hash. Cody Dinan will hold. There's the snap, and the boot is up. It's low, and it hits the crossbar and didn't go in. Wow, it hit the crossbar, bounced up in the air, and then fell about a foot short of going through.
That's what, in golf, we call that hitting the ball fat. And I think that's what he did right there. And very rarely do you see it hit that deep on the crossbar and not go through.
Yeah, it took a funny bounce off the crossbar and came down about a foot short.
Wow.
We saw Anzini boot a 35-yarder last week that had plenty of distance. So he obviously had a mishit on that kick. Didn't get what he wanted out of it. And Snider really dodges a bullet. 3.4 seconds remaining in the half, and the Snider's probably going to just take a knee. They're in a victory-type formation with a wing each side. Hippenhammer 10 yards deep behind Stiebling, who gets under center, and Stiebling goes to a knee, and we've reached halftime. Well, Storm's approaching, but hopefully they'll hold off to the end of the game. We're at halftime. Nothing decided yet. It's 7-7 between the Carroll Chargers and the Snider Panthers. We'll return here at Spooler Stadium and give you some score updates. Also, Ryan Dellinger with a scoring recap of this one. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
And now, your Crumbach Chevrolet starting lineup. Silverado, the benchmark of full-size pickups. Stronger, smarter, and more capable than ever. Impala, delivering refinement and efficiency in a full-size sedan for 50 years. Crumbach helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise Eco, delivering 42 miles per gallon. The starting lineup from Crumbach Chevrolet. 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 44 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Online at CrumbachChevy.com.
When the time comes to choose a physical therapist, choose Mallers and Swoverland. After surgery, a sports-related injury, an accident, or for the rehabilitation from a medical condition. If you need physical therapy, tell your doctor your choice is Mallers and Swoverland. They address the problem, not just the symptoms. From issues like neck and back pain to workers' comp, they fully understand the importance of a proper recovery and rehabilitation of sports-related injuries. Mallers and Swoverland Orthopedic Physical Therapy. Your choice for results. Get more info by visiting msoptherapy.com.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Welcome to Friday Night Football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Two high-powered offenses, one the fifth highest-scoring offense in the state, and at halftime, a defensive struggle. 7-7, Snider and Carroll here at Spooler Stadium with Ryan Dellinger. I am Brett Rump. Bryce Vance, our studio engineer, and he will have all of your halftime scores for the area coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But a strange first half, Ryan, scoreless after the first quarter. We thought we would see fireworks. We thought there'd be a lot of points scored. Both defenses have allowed points throughout this year, but they've been challenged by the coaches, and so far both defenses have stepped up.
Yeah, and we've just seen so many balls on the ground. Snider with the two fumbles that they lost that Carroll was able to get and eventually score on one of them. And then that last drive for Carroll, they put the ball on the ground twice back-to-back on snaps while he's in the pistol formation, Aiden Smith. And, both defenses are really standing on their head here, playing very well, and just basically doing enough to make the offenses not score.
Coming up later tonight, be sure to join us at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut. It'll be the Indiana Physical Therapy post-game show. I'll be joined by Dean Jackson, all your final scores, and, of course, coaches' interviews and more. We invite you to come on out and join us for America's favorite pizza and award-winning Wing Street Wings at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut. The perfect post-game destination is your hometown Pizza Hut restaurants. Well, Ryan, you mentioned it. The offenses, I don't think, played particularly well. They shot themselves in the foot with some turnovers and a couple of untimely penalties. And then an uncharacteristic kick there at the end. J.P. Anzini, who's 6 for 6 on extra points and made a field goal last week for 35 yards against Homestead. And I don't know exactly what happened, but the ball just didn't have a lot of carry. Hits the crossbar and then bounces up in the air and falls a foot short as it comes back down to the ground. And so, again, maybe some offensive mistakes, maybe some nerves here in the first half, but you have to give the defenses credit because these offenses still are loaded with weapons. And I think the thing we've seen from both defenses is they haven't done anything fancy, but they've just done their jobs really well.
Yeah, I think both coaches probably instilled that this week in practice. Don't try to be the star. Let's gang tackle these guys and see what happens. And for Carroll, it's the two big turnovers here. But a stop drives that Snider's been moving on. And then for Snider, we're watching some unbelievable penetration on almost every single play by their defensive line. But Aiden Smith has probably been the X factor running the ball really for Carroll. He's done a masterful job. His patience is what really impresses me out there, the way he's able to wait, either give the ball off, the read option, and then run himself. So, both teams, I think both coaches have the same message. Offense, hold on to the ball, and we'll be fine. Defenses, keep doing what you're doing.
And when Aiden Smith takes off out of that quarterback read option, you have to remember he is like a oversized fullback. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. And the one thing I was talking this week with some people from Carroll, and they said he is basically in the weight room almost every day, constantly trying to build and strengthen that frame because it helps arm strength, it helps mobility, it helps his strength in breaking away from tacklers. And we've seen it here in the first half with Aiden Smith. And Isaac Stiebling has been contained. But again, both defenses have done a great job of pursuit into the backfield. Neither team can run wide. You've seen both teams try to run that stretch play or run the jet sweep, and neither team's been able to turn the edge. Both teams just with tremendous speed defensively. And at halftime, it's resulted in a 7-7 score between the Carroll Chargers and the Snider Panthers. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at our scoring recap here in the first half with Ryan Dellinger.
And real quick is right.
Yeah, won't take long this week.
No, it won't. In the second quarter, Snider was the first team to get on the board at the 8:24 mark when Isaac Stiebling hit David Turner on about a 1-yard throw out, and he turned it upfield and went 9 yards for a touchdown. The PAT was good, and Snider was ahead 7-0. It wasn't too long after that, Carroll answered right back at the 6:49 mark of the second quarter when Aiden Smith called his own number and ran it in from 17 yards out. Completely untouched on that play, by the way. I think he just had everybody fooled. They kicked the PAT, and we're tied 7-7 in a game that everybody thought was going to be high scoring. And we're going to be at halftime 7-7.
It'll be Carroll getting the ball first here in the second half. And so as you heard from Ryan, essentially if you want the highlights of the first half, you only have to really go back and listen to 1 minute 35 seconds of the archives, because that basically was when all the scoring was done, about midway through the second quarter. We'll send it back to the studio after this break. Bryce Vance has a rundown of various scores, and then we'll come back here to Spooler Stadium, where it is halftime and the Snider Band performing for a good crowd out here on the campus of Northrop High School. It's the Carroll Chargers and the Snider Panthers all tied up 7-7 at the half. This is Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
The Snider High School Athletic Booster Club is a nonprofit organization run by parents and volunteers to support all IHSAA sports at Snider High School by promoting spirit, raising funds, and providing volunteers. Their funds are raised through membership, spirit wear, concessions, and fundraising. All Booster Club proceeds are dispersed exclusively to the Snider High School Athletic Department. They would like to thank their members and business partners, Canterbury Green Golf Course, All Brights Meats, Jack Laurie Flooring, Subway, and Trelleborg Ceiling Solutions for their continued commitment to the Snider Athletic Boosters.
When an injury knocks you out of the game, call Parkview Sports Medicine. Whether you're an aspiring pro or a recreational athlete, our team of orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and athletic trainers will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. Parkview Sports Medicine will get you back to the action quickly and safely, because the game just isn't the same without you. Call Parkview Sports Medicine today at 260-266-4007 and make our team of expert physicians your dream team. We'll get you back in the game.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
And welcome into the studios of ESPN Radio 1380. I am Bryce Vance, the studio engineer for tonight's matchup of Carroll and Snider. We'll get you back up to Spooler Stadium after a quick update from scores around the area. Starting off in Kendallville, Leo taking advantage of quieting the crowd in Kendallville, up 21-0 over the East Noble Knights. Bishop Luers just scored a late touchdown to put them up 28-14 over the Concordia Cadets. Bishop Dwenger up 29-7 at halftime over the Northrop Bruins. Wayne down 21-3 to Northside. Homestead taking advantage of a down year for Southside, up 35-6 so far. In Columbia City, they're deadlocked at 6 with DeKalb and Columbia City. Huntington North is down 14 points, 20-6 to Belmont. In New Haven, they are up 19-0 over Norwell. At halftime is deadlocked at 14 apiece with Bluffton and Jay County. In Adams Central up 14-0 over Heritage. Southern Wells is taking a beating from Woodland, down 42-6. My alma mater, Central Noble 21, Fremont 6. More NECC action. Central Noble putting it all over Prairie Heights currently, 35-0 at halftime. Over on ESPN Radio 106.7 FM, Garrett Railroaders up 21-0 over the Eastside Blazers. Angola up 7-0 over Lakeland. Fairfield up 7-6 over West Noble. That game is currently in a lightning delay. We'll get you updated scores after the game with that one. And at Tippecanoe Valley down 6 down 6, Whitco up 6-0 that game at halftime, but also in a lightning delay. We'll get you updates from that game after the game. One more quick run through of the Fort Wayne schools. East Noble down 21 to Leo. Bishop Luers 28, Concordia 14, Dwenger 29, Northrop 7. Wayne down 21-3 over Northside, and Homestead up 35-6, and New Haven 19-0. Those are scores from around the area. After a quick timeout, we'll get you back out to Spooler Stadium with Brent Rupp and Ryan Dellinger. This has been a halftime update from ESPN Radio 1380.
Hi, Charlie Momper here from Momper Insulation. It's never too late to add insulation. You'll be amazed at the results when our Momper professionals retrofit your walls and attics with high-quality insulation. When we're finished, you'll stay warmer and hopefully save money on your heating bills as well. Momper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Call today at 432-7543.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
The Snider High School Athletic Booster Club is a nonprofit organization run by parents and volunteers to support all IHSAA sports at Snider High School by promoting spirit, raising funds, and providing volunteers. Their funds are raised through membership, spirit wear, concessions, and fundraising. All Booster Club proceeds are dispersed exclusively to the Snider High School Athletic Department. They would like to thank their members and business partners, Canterbury Green Golf Course, All Brights Meats, Jack Laurie Flooring, Subway, and Trelleborg Ceiling Solutions for their continued commitment to the Snider Athletic Boosters.
Here you go. Hot tea with honey. Thanks, sweetie. I'm sorry you're still sick. My wife's got pneumonia, and my dad had shingles. Who knew vaccines could prevent these serious diseases? Not me, until my doctor told me.
Vaccines can help protect you against a number of serious diseases, so don't wait. Vaccinate. To learn more, talk to your healthcare professional. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 1-800-CDC-INFO.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Halftime here at Spooler Stadium. The Snider Panthers and the Carroll Chargers are tied 7-7. It was Snider that struck first, scoring on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Stiebling to David Turner, but it didn't take long. Just 1 minute and 35 seconds later, the Carroll Chargers tied it up on a 17-yard touchdown run by senior quarterback Aiden Smith. No other scoring. Carroll had the chance late in the half. In the last few seconds, they lined up for a field goal that would have given them the lead at halftime, but J.P. Anzini's kick, an attempt from, I believe, about 25 yards out, ended up hitting the crossbar, bouncing straight up in the air, and then coming down just short of going through, and that was how it ended. So we'll look for the second half with the Chargers getting the kick to start our second half, and hopefully the rain and especially any lightning that might be approaching can stay away.
We actually do have a game that Wawa C and Northwood were supposed to play tonight, and they've had so much lightning they just canceled the game. They're going to play tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
And that's where the storms are at, and I don't know if they're moving enough east or northeast that they'll eventually get here, but hopefully we can get a second half of football in as we're tied 7-7 here at the half, and it's been as advertised. The 3-1 Carroll Chargers and the 4-0 5A second-ranked Snider Panthers. So we will take a final break, and then when we come back, we will have our second half kickoff and hopefully an entire second half of football here at Spooler Stadium. With Ryan Dellinger, I am Brett Rump, and you're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Before or after the game or anytime, Pizza Hut invites you to come in and enjoy a large, hot-from-the-oven pizza with your choice of crust and toppings beginning at $11. Or have you tried Pizza Hut's award-winning Wing Street Wings? Available in 3 styles and 8 great flavors from mild to hot, Wing Street Wings are crowd pleasers. Want exclusive deals and savings? Become a Hut lover by signing up at pizzahut.com. With dine-in, carry-out, or delivery, order America's favorite pizza and award-winning Wing Street Wings at Pizza Hut. The perfect post-game destination is your convenient hometown Pizza Hut.
Here's a money-saving tip from Momper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Exposed attic ceiling joists and ductwork, or new snow that quickly melts off your roof, means you need to add insulation. We'll fill empty sidewall cavities with insulation, even through masonry, aluminum, or vinyl siding with no unsightly holes. Plus, we'll seal your crawl space with urethane foam for a total insulation package. Call Momper now for a free, no-obligation energy analysis of your home.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Let's send it back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
Brett Rump and Ryan Dellinger are back at Spooler Stadium, tied up 7-7 here at halftime between the Snider Panthers and the Carroll Chargers. What's at stake? Well, not only first place in the SAC, as Snider's 4-0 and Carroll is 3-1, but of course bragging rights around the state. Carroll moved up to 14 in the 6A poll this week, while the Snider Panthers currently #2 in Class 5A and getting some first place votes. In the history, Carroll looking for their first win against the Snider Panthers. Snider's won the only 2 previous meetings, including a 51-0 blowout back in 2004, the last time these 2 teams have met. Snider has gone over 40 games where they have not lost a game that has been played in the regular season of a year ending in 5. That goes all the way back to 1975. Also, Snider has a 3-game streak of scoring 55 plus. And the only time they didn't score 55 or more in a game this year, they scored 42 in the first half against Wayne, ending with 49. So the state's 5th highest scoring team, the Snider Panthers, held to just a touchdown here in the first half by this Carroll defense, and we're tied 7-7. And now the Carroll offense will get the ball first as Carroll sends out the kick return unit to take the second half kickoff. And you know, you look for ways to maybe pick up some emotion and pick up the momentum here in the second half. We've seen Kurt Tippmann play the gamble game. Do you come out here in this second half just to try to give your team a little bit of a jump start and do anything funny?
No, I'm not on.
Trust the
kicking.
defense.
I'm not onside kicking here if that's what you're asking.
I just like that New Orleans. They really pulled it on Indianapolis a couple years ago,
Right.
so I always have to ask the question.
But I wouldn't kick the ball to Blake Schumacher down back there again the way he ran the last one back.
Big return,
where he just
man.
carried everybody like Jerome Bettis against Indiana when he was a senior at Notre Dame.
And he's another one of those, those big corners or those big defensive backs that lines up to return the kick. Averages 29.2 yards a kickoff return this year. And this time it'll be Anzavino breaking away from a tackle at the 20, near sideline, out across the 25. And he even breaks the 30 before he's knocked out near the 31. Might even give him the 32 here on the near sideline. So the Chargers with decent field position. Just underway here in the second half, a tie game, 7-7.
Snider actually had pretty good contain on that, and Zeno just made a very nice play to get through the first tackler. See if they go right back to that read option, Carroll, and see if Snider can continue to get good pressure on him.
Halftime adjustments are done. The Chargers come out from the right hash. Aiden Smith will line up 5 yards deep as the quarterback in a shotgun. Single back behind him with 2 receivers lined up wide each side, and it will be Novotny taking the handoff and following his left end up the field across the 35, puts the shoulder pads down and hits to the 36, a 4-yard carry for Novotny. He was the main ball carrier a week ago against the Homestead Spartans. Novotny is a junior, 5'9", 160 pounds, and he stays out there with the ball down the left hash. Handoff, this time Novotny right up the middle. He'll pound his way to the 39. Well, we'll give him the 38 when the knee went down, so it'll be a 3rd down and 4 facing the Carroll Chargers, and clearly they want to establish the run here early in the second half.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Take the air out of the ball. Because you know Aiden Smith can run it himself at that read option, and I'm sure that's the play they've got dialed up right here.
From their own 38, 3rd down 4. They need the 42 for a 1st down, and it's play action. Smith takes the handoff, keeps it, and he's wrapped up, trying to turn the edge. It's Johnson, Lawrence Johnson, who made a big play. The sophomore defensive lineup takes down Smith for a 2-yard loss. It brings up 4th down, and the Chargers on a 3-and-out will have to punt it to Snider.
How would you like to know in the SAC that all those defensive linemen other than Marcus Green all come back next year? That's a scary thought, and they're just going to get better.
So on the 4th down, Jack Shannon will come out to punt for the Chargers. Back deep, Hippenhammer and Turner to return, and Shannon will try to hit the near sideline and keep the ball away from the return tandem of the Snider Panthers. It does go out of bounds, and it won't be a real long kick.
Wow, they gave him a good spot.
Yeah, they did give him a good spot. Looked like it went out closer to the 41 or 42, and they're going to sit it, I think, near the 39. So the Snider Panthers start 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line with 10:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. For the Snider Panthers, it's Isaac Stiebling at quarterback. Money Woods will take up a position as the tailback. Malik Bramley, slot right. Also, I think, is that Hippenhammer or Turner in the slot near side right. Quick drop Stiebling, and they'll run a screen to the running back. Woods around the right side. He'll head across the 45, out near the 46 before being knocked out of bounds. A little 7-yard pickup, and it's always interesting to see how the two teams adjust to what the other teams are doing here when they come out of the halftime locker room. That's not a play we saw in the first half for Snider, but it was effective that time for 7 yards.
Yeah, and they used to run that play all the time in years past.
Ball's on the right hash. Woods again in the backfield. The slot to the left. And it's the read option. The give to Woods. He's met at the line of scrimmage. No room for Money Woods.
Maybe a half yard on that.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and fairly short. 3rd and 2. They'll give him the 47. The 49 is the yard to gain for the Snider Panthers, facing 3rd down, 9:40, and the clock running here in the 3rd quarter, tied 7-7. Trip receivers left. Stiebling looks to the sideline, an empty backfield, no running back. On 3rd and 2, Stiebling looks, throws, and as he throws, it comes out of his hand, and there's Jamasic knocking down Stiebling, but they'll say it's an incomplete pass, and I think that was a good call. Stiebling was winding up to throw it, and he got hit from the blind side by James Jamasic. The ball came out, but it did head forward to near the line of scrimmage, and the referee calls it an incomplete pass. It brings up 4th down for Snider from the 47, and regardless, Carroll will end up with the football.
That had danger written all over it right there.
We could see Jamasic coming around that left end, something Stiebling could not. Here's the kick by Trent Morgan. And a fair catch signaled, and diving to make it is Justin Becker at the 22. So the Chargers will start the second possession of the second half from their own 22-yard line. We've got 9:18 to play in the 3rd quarter, and again, a pair of 3-and-outs, an exchange of punts, and the defenses, again, just keep playing well against the other team's high-powered offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Both defenses look great here. They're staying in their lane, staying very disciplined. You know, I'm telling you, these coaches challenge their defenses this week.
Ball is at the 22 on the right hash, and they will put a wing to the right, a slot to the right, and a wide receiver right, which is the short side of the field. A lot of players bunched up. Here's the handoff. It'll be a sweep. Anzavino trying to get around the left corner. He's met in the backfield, and he'll be brought down, and that's Janari Brown who wouldn't let him go and wouldn't let him turn the corner, and it's a loss of about 7 yards for Anzavino. And Ryan, we talked at halftime. These teams cannot run wide trying to get out to the outside corner.
Yeah, the only person we seem to have any chance is the quarterback, Aiden Smith, or even Money Woods. It's just not there.
Second down, they'll say it's 2nd and 16 from the 16-yard line. Play action, throw, and it was deflected near the line and then went incomplete.
Lawrence Johnson is having a good second half.
The defensive line has been good all night.
He's the one who deflected that ball. Now it's a long situation again. They tried that screen in the first half. See if they go back to that here. Once again, both of the defenses just look awesome tonight. 3rd down, 16.
Carroll with the ball on their own 16-yard line, a 7-7 game. Carroll got knocked off a couple of weeks ago by Northside when the Redskins scored a couple of late touchdowns to beat the Chargers 36-32. Snider perfect at 4-0. Man in motion, left to right across the formation. Here's a drop, Smith, and he'll throw to the man in motion, Becker, in the right flat. He catches it near the 16, but a good open field tackle, bringing down Becker at the 20, well short of the first down. And the tackle by Taj Starks, and Chargers will punt.
Yeah, see if they angle this ball again, once again, out of bounds. This time they've changed up. Hippenhammer's gone over here to the left. See, why don't go with pressure?
The ball's on the right hash. You've got Jack Shannon to kick, and clearly the Chargers do not want to allow a big play in the return game. Shannon will line it up toward the near sideline, and this one spirals, will stay in play, but it's a deep kick. Cut at the 35, a Hippenhammer. They try to set up the return right. They got the blocking if he can get the corner. He's at the 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, and knocked out of bounds. A big hit.
54.
Wow, what a big hit as he headed down that far sideline. Hippenhammer jumps right up, and I think we might have a flag about 5 yards before Hippenhammer got blasted and got knocked out of bounds. I think there's a flag down on the far side.
Wow, he got hit by number 54, Jesse Lawson.
Good 45-yard kick, and Hippenhammer tried to take it from the left side all the way across the field. I thought when he turned the corner, they had that wall block set up. And he took off for pretty good yardage on the return, but in full speed, he just ran almost head on into the Chargers. And a penalty on the blocking over there is going to be called against Snider, which will march off 10 yards against the Snider Panthers. So they'll put the ball back, I think, at the 46 of Snider, where it starts 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 7:39 remaining in the third quarter, a 7-7 game.
Just no rhythm for either offense here in the second half.
Let's see if Snider tries to start busting some big plays or take advantage, too, of that open field in the flat. They've used it a couple of times, dropping a receiver short and wide underneath the wide receivers. 3 receivers to the left, and it'll be a give to the running back. It's Dominic Scott, and again, he doesn't have a hole, and he'll be taken down, and that's Dylan Connor, one of the best linebackers not only in the area but perhaps in the state, who broke in to take down Dominic Scott for only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, they tried to seal off the end again with bringing the right tackle that time in and Dellinger around that side. He just didn't seal it off very well there, and there's good pursuit once again.
Slot to the right, ball centered for Isaac Stiebling. He'll roll right and throw left. Back to Woods. He's got a lot of room. He handles the ball at midfield and heads near sideline. Gets knocked out at the 42. And if he didn't bobble the ball, boy, he had a lot of room to run. As Carroll had a mix-up in the coverage, and Woods came out of the backfield wide open near side. It'll be enough for a first down at the Carroll 42.
And here's one thing I do see. There's a lot of hands on hips now with those Carroll defenders, because some of the guys are starting to play both ways now.
They do have some of the defenders that have come in. I saw Jordan Schmeling out there as a defensive back. Trip receivers right. Shotgun from the left hash for Isaac Stiebling. And a quick screen to the slot receiver. It's caught by Turner. He picks up a block, but there comes a flag, and it's probably going to be an illegal block. There's a couple of flags out there. The ball was completed to Turner. He took it for a first down, but with two flags laying right in front of where Turner caught the ball, you have to assume that that's a holding penalty or a block in the back of some sort. Let's see what they call.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on Bramley. It looked good when it started, and then he grabbed the guy and turned him.
Still waiting for the official to give us the sign. It is going to be a hold against Snider, and it's a spot foul. So the ball, or the foul, occurred at the 36. So it'll be marched back 10 yards from there, which basically makes it about a 4-yard penalty. It's 1st and 14 with the ball back at the Carroll 46. Snider with the football. Tie game 7-7 with 6:50 remaining here in the third quarter. Bryce Vance, our studio engineer. Ryan Dellinger alongside. I'm Brett Rump. Here's the Panthers, and a roll to the left, a throw flat, and it's caught by Turner. He breaks away from one at the 38 and then takes it down the near sideline and gets knocked out near the 32. Jack Gibbons in on the hit. And that will be enough, I believe, for a first down.
I'll tell you, Snider, that was a well-designed play because they had the lineman pull to make it look like a run, and it was just a quick pass out here to the left to David Turner. Very well-designed play there by the Panthers.
At the 31, that is a first down for Snider. Panthers looking to break a 7-7 tie. 1st and 10 in Chargers territory at the 31. Stiebling takes the handoff, keeps it off the right end. He drives down the field inside the 20 and hit near the 19. Spun back, but that will be a 12 or 13-yard gain. Now they'll give him 11. Put him down at the 20, but that's 11 yards. Another first down for Snider.
I say Snider, as soon as the ball's down and you can go. There's a lot of confusion out there right now by the Carroll defense.
Fatigue starting to wear on Carroll. We've seen Snider do this, including last week against Concordia. The pace of the offense, trying to keep up with all of these skill players who are so fast, it just wears on you. Stiebling, quick throw, right flat. Ball is off the hands of Hippenhammer at the 15, incomplete.
Wow.
A 5-yard out route. Ball was right in the hands of Mac Hippenhammer, and he dropped it.
Well, I can tell you, Brett, the play that they could probably score with is if they released the tight end and he went straight up the seam the way they used to do it with Spitnell and Dellinger and all the other Torrenson they have. They used to run that play. I'm telling you, that's going to be wide open.
Bryson Haft has one catch this year, and it was for a touchdown. Here's the handoff to the running back. Following the left side, inside the 15. That'll be 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5, and on the carry was Dominic Scott. Even though Scott is listed so much bigger than Woods, sometimes it's tough to tell. They have a very similar style running the football.
And here's another one of these plays that'll probably be a run-pass option, probably rolling to his right, trying to hit his big target, maybe Bramley, who hasn't had many targets here since he dropped the ball earlier in the first half.
5.5 minutes and the clock runs, third quarter. Tied 7-7, 3rd down and almost 5 for the Panthers from the 15. And it will be a read option give. Money Woods, first down, 10, and he spins inside the 5. What a move by Money Woods. He's got that spin move down, and he'll go to about the 3-yard line, 1st and goal, Panthers.
That was a very good move by Money Woods there, but Snider's very fortunate. And now they're going to go to the Wildcat offense here, but one of the offensive linemen fell right into the legs of Stiebling there, and he's wide open, snapped the ball.
Yeah, nobody picking him up, and Snider looking at the sideline. It'll be the Wildcat with Hippenhammer going into the backfield. Hippenhammer will take the direct snap. Stiebling wide left, Bramley wide right, Turner the slot to the right, Woods the only back, and it will be Hippenhammer on the direct snap, takes it up the middle into the end zone, touchdown Snider, and the Panthers have retaken the lead. 3 yards, Wildcat run up the middle for Mac Hippenhammer. Hippenhammer, his second rushing touchdown this season. And the Panthers in front 13-7 with 4:54 remaining in the third. Now extra points that could be huge. And this one was Paul Buseman, who will come in to try to add possibly a very valuable extra point. Referee gives the signal. It's good to go. Buseman will await the snap for Bryson Half. The snap good, the set good, and the kick. A line drive up and through the uprights. 14-7 Snider. Another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sale. If you want to score on your next drive, choose your car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380.
When the time comes to choose a physical therapist, choose Mallers and Swoverland. After surgery, a sports-related injury, an accident, or for the rehabilitation from a medical condition. If you need physical therapy, tell your doctor your choice is Mallers and Swoverland. They address the problem, not just the symptoms. From issues like neck and back pain to workers' comp, they fully understand the importance of a proper recovery and rehabilitation of sports-related injuries. Mallers and Swoverland Orthopedic Physical Therapy. Your choice for results. Get more info by visiting msoptherapy.com.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380.
We've been waiting all night for some fireworks, but we get lightning. And we are now delayed here at Spooler Stadium because there was lightning seen to the north of the stadium. And looking at the radar, it looks like there is possibly some cells moving to the northeast that are northwest of where we're located. It doesn't look like anything's going to hit us, but if they can see the lightning, it's an automatic 30-minute break. And right now we're getting our courtesy timeout. So we're
pay some bills.
We've got a break for 30 minutes here at Spooler Stadium. Well, Snider just scored to go in front. What does this break mean to the Carroll Chargers, with Snider having picked up the momentum of just taking the lead, and now all of a sudden we've got a 30-minute delay? How does that impact the game, the timing of this delay?
I'm not sure how it does, but we saw last time that Snider scored, their defense kind of sat back a little bit, and the Carroll Chargers were able to go down the field and score on them. So, Coach Tippman's got to keep his voice fired up, and I think
I'm not sure if we're going to get the full 30-minute. The referees are talking about it. The coaches are walking back toward the sideline.
It looks like they may be motioning these guys.
There could be a situation where they saw something, but it was in the distance, and they're checking radar, know that it's not an unsafe situation. Of course, the rule is in place, Ryan, and
right.
We respect the rule and the intent of it, which is to keep everybody safe. But when we look at the radar, it looks like any of the nearest storms are a good 25 miles away from here right now. So the officials actually are talking to the Snider athletic director.
And I see lightning over here to our right as well.
But it's to the north, and it's moving to the northeast. So it's actually moving away from us, and it's in a direction that's heading the other way. And you can see the officials are actually pointing where it is and where it's heading as they talk to Steve Zimbo, the Snider athletic director.
Yeah, Zimbo's probably got his phone out, but now we actually get to hear the Snider cheering section going against that neon color of home of Carroll tonight.
Well, we had some fun with that on Twitter this week.
You did.
And of course, you can follow me at Brett Rump Sports on Twitter. But I kept asking the question who was going to show up, because this game taking place not at Snider High School, even though it's a Snider home game, but it is almost perfectly centered between the two schools. And so the question was which student section would show up, knowing that each of them had to go about 4 or 5 miles from their home base. And Neon Nation has shown up pretty well. They don't have the section filled, but they do have it probably 2/3 full across the way. And I got to tell you, Ryan, that I know there's more adults on this side because of the Snider home game, but the Snider students have shown up pretty well as well. And, of course, a lot of the T-shirts, the blackout T-shirts for Snider. Steve Zimbo is going to come over and try to tell us what's happening.
I saw him and Ginder out there, the athletic director over at Carroll.
Yeah, Steve Zembo is down on the track in front of us, and he's signaling up to the press box, so we're just trying to find out. He's got a radio, but I don't know that it's working. And you can see...
Wow. That's a lot of lightning out there to our north.
Well, there's a lot of lightning to the north, but again, we're seeing flashes, not bolts. It's just lighting up the sky. I don't know that the actual lightning is that close. But now the Carroll side is packing up their bags. I think we definitely are going to have some kind of a break here.
Yeah,
the score is 14-7. Snider just took the lead. So the stadium has to be cleared out. You have to have at least a 30-minute break, and that's going to be from the last lightning strike that's seen. And right now, it's not like we're seeing bolts of lightning. We're just seeing the sky kind of flash off to our north here at Spooler Stadium, and so there is a delay. There's no rain. There doesn't appear to be any rain even close to this area, but there's lightning that is being seen in the northern sky, and therefore it is a mandatory rule that the teams take a break. And I think they tried to figure out every way around it, Ryan, in reality, because I think the officials knew that these storms were a pretty good distance away, but as you kept seeing the flashes in the north sky, eventually at some point you've just got to do the right thing, and that's take the 30-minute timeout.
Yeah,
and then they have to leave. Yeah, then they have to vacate the stadium. That's the tough thing, because there is so much aluminum, metal. You've got light posts. You've got, actually it's almost like having lightning rods over there in the stands. And so the best precaution is clear the stadium. Give it at least a 30-minute break, but this is the first time I've had a lightning break, Ryan, where there wasn't any kind of rain or downpour associated with it. So actually kind of just chill out for a few minutes out in the parking lot and then maybe make your way back in, and hopefully the rain stays away.
They might do a little tailgate, and I know Snider was doing it prior to the game.
Yeah, you got an extra bonus tailgate time. And so we are on a break. Snider is leading at 14-7. They just scored to take the lead and add the extra point, and that really is the last action that we've seen. And so 9:18, I think, is the official time they took the break.
Yeah.
The only thing about that is that the clock will just keep going for 30 minutes. Wait a minute, 9:18. What is 9:18, Ryan?
30 minutes from when the last lightning bolt was.
Oh, but we're still seeing lightning, so I don't know that. I mean, I think the clock's going to continue to roll. So we know at least right now we're 30 minutes away from getting back to the field. That would be 9:20. And I don't think we'll play. Now, I'm going to ask Bryce back in our studio to please let me know if the game is going in DeKalb County. I know Shane Albarani has a game going with the Garrett Railroaders and the Eastside Blazers, and north of here is actually worse weather. But if Bryce can just let me know and I get a word that they are playing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give you bonus coverage of that game until we get this one resumed. So don't be fooled by what's happening. The reality is we have another game over on ESPN 106.7 between the Garrett Railroaders and the Eastside Blazers. Shane Albarani is there. They are playing, and so at this point, we will send you there for bonus coverage, and you'll get that game up until the point this resumes. Now, we know we have a 30-minute break, so here's what will happen. You'll get 30 minutes of that game, and then it'll come back, and I'll give you an update on what's happening here, and we'll decide how long we will go before we resume action here and what the status will be 30 minutes from now. So about 9:20 to 9:22, which would be the earliest we'll get back to playing, I will be here at Spooler Stadium, and we'll check in with you from here. But for now, on ESPN 1380, we will give you bonus coverage of the Garrett Railroaders and the Eastside Blazers with Shane Albarani. It is our DeKalb County High School football game of the week, and you will hear it right now on ESPN Radio 1380.
Indiana Physical Therapy, your choice in Northern Indiana. Suffering from chronic pain? Choose IPT for your physical therapy. IPT is a cost-effective